Something stirs beneath the surface. Millions upon millions. Moving as one. The Southern Ocean, dark and cold, hiding the largest biomass on Earth. Antarctic krill. Small. Translucent. Abundant beyond measure. But recently, they've become valuable. Very valuable. And where value exists in the ocean, ships follow. Not ordinary vessels. Factories. Floating industrial platforms designed to harvest the swarm without ever returning to shore. What happens aboard these ships remains largely unseen. Until now. They operate in the most hostile waters known to sailors. Waves that tower. Winds that scream. Ice that appears without warning. Yet the factory ships press forward, searching. Their quarry, dense concentrations of krill, swarms that can stretch for kilometers. Sonar pings into the deep. Echoes return. The screens light up red, layer upon layer. A biomass signature. The crew prepares. Machinery awakens. What follows is harvest on a scale few can imagine. The nets are not nets. Not in the traditional sense. Massive trawl systems, engineered specifically for krill. Designed to filter enormous volumes of water while the ship maintains speed. Some stretch over 100 meters wide. The mouth opens. Down it goes, into the black. Sensors embedded in the mesh transmit data. Depth. Temperature. Catch density. The crew monitors everything from heated control rooms. Waiting. The trawl enters the swarm. But these ships don't haul nets aboard. They pump. Continuously. A revolutionary system. Hoses as thick as a human torso extend into the trawl. Vacuum pressure creates suction. Krill and seawater flow together, pulled upward through reinforced tubing. The pump never stops. Hour after hour. The krill come aboard alive, suspended in rushing water. No pause. No hauling cycle. Just endless flow. A river of protein streaming from the ocean into the ship's heart. The scale becomes clear in the data. Tens of thousands of kilograms. Every hour. Day and night. The pumps maintain their rhythm. Processing capacity measured not in tons per day, but tons per hour. Omega-3 oil production alone reaching into the hundreds of tons per voyage. These are not fishing boats. They are ocean factories, harvesting and refining simultaneously. The numbers tell the story that words struggle to convey. The mixture arrives at separation. Water and krill, churning together. Massive cylindrical screens rotate. Centrifugal force. The water drains away, returning to the sea. What remains? Pure krill. Mountains of translucent crustaceans, each barely longer than a human finger. They cascade onto the first conveyor. Stainless steel. Food grade. Moving toward the factory core. Workers in thermal gear observe. Check flow rates. Ensure no blockages form. The conveyors never stop moving. Here, the stream divides. Some krill move left. Others right. Two products, two processes. The decision made before the voyage. Market demand. Contract obligations. Price differentials. One path leads to freezing. Whole krill, preserved for human consumption or aquaculture feed. The other path, extraction. Breaking down the krill into components. Oil. Meal. Protein concentrate. Each requires different machinery. Different temperatures. Different expertise. The ship carries it all. The freezing line operates with precision. Timing is everything. Krill degrade rapidly. Enzymes within their bodies activate after death, breaking down tissue. Minutes matter. The krill flow through automated washers. Then into the blast freezer. Temperatures plunge. -40 degrees. -50. Ice crystals form within seconds. The enzymes stop. The krill lock into stasis. Packaged. Stacked. Stored in holds kept colder than Arctic winter. Preserved until port, weeks or months away. The other stream enters darker territory. The extraction chamber. Here, krill are cooked. Heated in rotating drums. Tissue breaks down. Enzymes that were problems become tools. They help separate oil from protein. The smell is overwhelming. Industrial. Marine. The drums rotate constantly. Temperature control is critical. Too hot, and the oil degrades. Too cool, and extraction fails. Sensors monitor. Computers adjust. The process continues, hidden behind steel doors and observation windows. From the cooked mass, oil separates. Centrifuges spin at thousands of revolutions per minute. Density differences do the work. The oil rises. Rich red. Almost glowing under the factory lights. Antarctic krill oil. Prized for its phospholipid-bound omega-3 fatty acids. More bioavailable than fish oil, they claim. More stable. More valuable. The oil flows into holding tanks. Nitrogen atmosphere prevents oxidation. Potent. Fragile. Worth more per liter than the fuel that powers the ship. What remains after oil extraction is not waste. It is product. Krill meal. High protein. Rich in astaxanthin, the compound that colors flamingos in salmon pink. The residue enters dryers. Massive rotating drums filled with heated air. Moisture evaporates. The material darkens. Hardens. Eventually, it crumbles. Grinders reduce it to powder. Fine. Consistent. Packaged in bulk bags. Aquaculture farms will buy this. Fish farmers raising salmon and shrimp. The meal completes the circle. Krill feeding fish that feed humans. Behind every valve and conveyor, there are hands. Workers from Norway, Chile, Ukraine, China. Experts in marine processing. They work 12-hour shifts. Sometimes longer when the krill are dense. The factory runs continuously, but humans need rest. Rotation schedules. Heated break rooms. Meals served 4 times daily. The ship rolls constantly. Sleep comes hard. Injury risk is ever present. Heavy machinery. Wet floors. Fatigue. Yet they return, voyage after voyage. The pay is good. The work, strangely compelling. Outside, the environment tolerates no mistakes. Spray freezes on contact with metal. Deck equipment coats with ice. Visibility drops to meters in sudden squalls. The ships are built for this. Ice-strengthened hulls. Heated decks. Enclosed processing areas. But equipment still fails. Hoses crack. Pumps clog. Trawls tear on icebergs that sonar missed. Repairs happen at sea. In wind. In cold. In darkness. The Antarctic does not pause for maintenance. Crews work exposed, fixing what breaks, knowing the harvest cannot stop. How much is too much? The question hangs unresolved. Krill populations fluctuate naturally. Penguin colonies depend on them. Whales feed almost exclusively on these swarms. The fishing is regulated. Quotas exist. Zones are protected. Yet the technology advances faster than the science. Factory ships can harvest more efficiently each year. Find krill in deeper water. Process faster. The ecosystem impact remains debated. Some studies suggest the harvest is negligible. Others worry. The swarms still come. For now. A single voyage can last 2 months. Operating costs run into millions. Fuel alone consumes budgets. The factory ships are expensive to build, expensive to run. They must harvest efficiently to survive economically. The math is unforgiving. Tons processed per day versus fuel consumed versus crew costs versus product market price. Omega-3 oil prices fluctuate. Krill meal demand shifts. Companies balance on spreadsheets, betting that swarms will continue, that markets will hold, that ships will not break in the Southern Ocean winter. It is fishing. But it is also finance. Eventually, the holds fill. Or the quota reaches its limit. Or weather turns too severe even for these ships. The trawl is retrieved. The pumps fall silent. The factory equipment begins its shutdown sequence. Cleaning. Flushing. Preservation mode. The ship turns north, away from the ice. Days of steaming toward warmer waters. Chile. Uruguay. Norway. Ports equipped to offload frozen product and oil in bulk. The krill, caught in the Southern Ocean weeks ago, frozen or processed within minutes of coming aboard, finally reach land. The cycle completes. Until the next voyage. Few people know these ships exist. Fewer have seen them operate. Yet their products appear everywhere. Omega-3 supplements on pharmacy shelves. Feed for farmed salmon served in restaurants worldwide. Ingredients in functional foods. The Antarctic krill, harvested by floating factories in the planet's most remote ocean, processed while waves crash against hulls, end their journey in pills, fillets, and products far from the cold water where they swarmed. An invisible industry. Operating at the edge of the world. Harvesting the swarm. Continuously. Efficiently. Endlessly.